All right, Shalawam, Shalawam. Peace, Israel. It's Brother Zaqan from Pops in Babylon Camp down here in Tampa, Florida. I'd like to give our glory, honor, and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone who teach you with well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful last scattered abroad. All right, today's lesson we're going to get into, China and the U.S., a race to disaster, which is the headline, the article we're going to read, and we want to make this too long, but we're going to touch up, man, because we understand that both of these nations are in the race, to who's going to lead this new digital currency, man. Who's going to be the next world superpower, So I'm going to grab this article, and I'm going to go into Revelation, chapter 13. We're going to grab the point in there because we understand that both of these nations, they're the race, but a race for this digital economy, man. They're trying to establish who's going to have the MOTB, which is the RFID chip, established and up and running, fully in functional, man. All right. Take this off. It says, China and the U.S. a race to disaster. It says, China and the U.S. are competing for a worldwide hegemony. It is a race to disaster. And that word hegemony also goes into leadership, So China and the U.S. are competing for a worldwide leadership. It is a race to disaster. It says both countries are promoting a degenerative economic system that is depleting the resources required for its own long-term survival. All right. And we know Bill Gates, he buying up all the farms over here in Babylon, and they're doing orchestrated famines, man. These famines aren't just happening, they're orchestrated, Says the system based on maximizing short-term materialistic goals, regardless of the environmental and social costs, it's consuming and polluting itself into extinction. China and the U.S. are locked in a race to expand a system that's nothing less than a global death economy. Listen to that. They're locked into a race to expand a system that is nothing less than a global death economy. And we understand that, the times that we're coming into, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, is about to be implemented, man. And if you take this, you will be hit with the nuke. You will be destroyed in that nuclear fire, this lake of fire, which is Babylon the Great, which is the land of America. And if you're over here, you standing on it, it's just not on fire yet, So I went to grab the book of Revelation, going into the chip, because we understand that the times we're coming into, this is one of the next big prophecies that's about to come to pass. This is one of the next big things that's about to take place upon this earth. Revelation 13 and 13, started at 13 and go on down, got the point. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. All right, going into Esau, Edom, these devils, they got these bombs, these nukes. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which ye have power to do in the sight of the beast. All right, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should have an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Right? We know Babylon is Rome revived, So these devils, they said they should make an image to the beast, and which had a wound by a sword and did live. And we understand that America is Babylon the Great, Rome revived, This is Rome 2.0, Rome all over again, man. They revived it. It says, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and it's caused that as many as would not worship the beast, and Slakia, and caused that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? Which is going into this new world order. Because we understand there's going to be 7,000 men who's not going to bow the knee to Baal, all right? Going into the Lord's elect, ultimately the Lord's chosen. But a lot of people are going to also be put to death because they're just not going to be down with this NWO, this new world order, that system, man. That new way of living, one for full, call YAHAWASHI. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, all right? The devil's going to cause everybody to be hit with the incision, which also goes, going back to that charagma, everyone, for you to be a part of the society, you're going to have to be charagma'd up, which ultimately, going into that mark, you're going to have this chip if you want to buy or sell anything, no matter who you are. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So unless you have this thing, you're an outcast of society, man. You know. And like this article said, they're in a race for this. They're in a race for this. You know. So while people are so worried about, you know, the next big thing going on, you know, in the sports world, or, you know, wherever they may be, wherever your attention is taking you, you know, understand that this is the next big thing on the way. And nations are, as you see, are in the race for this, man. Nations are putting things full-fledged to establish the CBDC, the central banking digital currency system, man. You know, we understand that this is the next big thing on the way, man. You know, the Lord is warning us from this, you know. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. You know, 666 going into that universal barcode, you know, the number of the devil. You know, because if you look at a barcode, the 3 solid distinct black lines, you know, those all go back. When you scan it, it goes back on the reader as 666, you know. So I'm going to bring this article back, you know, so to touch up on the point that much more. China and the U.S. are competing for worldwide hegemony, which also goes into leadership. It says it is a race to disaster. All right, which we understand. Whoever takes this, man, you're going to be destroyed. You know, in the sight of the Lamb and the holy angels. All right. It said both countries are promoting a degenerative economic system. Matter of fact, let me grab this. It says, the word degenerative goes back to irreversible deterioration, loss of function. All right. It says irreversible deterioration, meaning it's deteriorating and it can't go back, man. All right. So both countries are promoting a degenerative economic system. All right. So these economies are collapsing. All right. That's why they're in a race to try to establish this NWO to see who's going to be on top. All right. But as this article is saying, man, it's a race to disaster. All right. Little do they know. It says a degenerative economic system that is developing the resources required for its own long-term, right, you know, for its own long-term survival. So it says the system is based on maximizing short-term materialistic goals regardless of the environmental and social costs, you know. So these devils going to work towards this NWO, you know, at by any means necessary, you know. They don't matter what environmental and social cost that is going to you know, create. It says it's consuming and polluting itself into extinction. All right. So you understand that, man. No, this is why the Lord speeding up the times, because the Lord didn't speed up the times, so no flesh would be saved, man. You know, we constantly seeing this, man. So this is just furthermore proving the point that YAHAWASHI is real. You know, the Lord does not lie. It says China and the U.S. are locked in a race to expand a system that's nothing less than a global death economy. All right. So a great death is coming, man. You know, we understand evil and evil only, you know. So with this on the way, man, you know, what spirit should you be in, you know? And be warned of this, man. These nations and these governments are about to come down with drastic laws and do certain things in order to establish their ways and their NWO, you know. And if you're against it by any means, they don't have a problem with putting you to death and make you a public example, man, you know, by any means necessary. But YAHAWAH RATAZAH, the nail was hit and the point was made. I would like to give our glory, honor, and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to hope for let's get abroad. Till next time I do say Shalawam and the Bible ball. YAHAWAH RATAZAH, you're edified.